I really need to start filming these after the season finale. Hello once again, watchers of good TV. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my white room. Now, today I am going to be talking about The Legend of Korra Book 2 Spirits. Obviously, the finale happened back in March or April, I don't remember exactly when, and I watched it back then, but I failed to get a review out. I was going to do it with two of my friends, and that just never happened, and so I decided to wait till the DVD came out, and it did yesterday. So I watched it, got through all 14 episodes, and so I am reviewing it now. Since season 3 is out now, and it's been through 3 episodes, it's doing pretty well, I will be talking about generally the entirety of book 2 without really any warning for spoilers. So if you have not seen book 2 of Legend of Korra yet, probably don't watch this, or just watch up until you start hearing spoiler-esque things, because, I mean, it's been long enough, I think. With that, book 2 opens up 6 months after the events of book 1 air, and Korra is still training in terms of air with Tenzin at the air temple, and that's just kind of developing as it is. Mako has a job on the police force. Bolin is still doing the fire ferrets stuff. And Asame's company, Future Industries, is going bankrupt. So that's where we find everyone at the beginning of this season. Very quickly, we are introduced to the name of this book, which is Spirits, and we are introduced to evil spirits, and that is essentially the main conflict, more or less, in the first half of the season. The first half of the season is kind of slow, honestly. It takes a little while to really get going. There's a Civil War-esque part between the North and South water tribes. Except for a few battles towards the end of the season, there's not really a whole lot of conflict in between the two tribes, so there's not a whole lot that goes on there. It's just kind of a lot of bickering and like, South, we want freedom, and North, we will oppress you type of stuff. The main bad guy in this season is a guy named Unalaq, and he is the brother of Korra's father, Tarlok, and so there's conflict in between those two brothers. Unalaq is this very good spirit bender, for lack of a better term. He can turn evil spirits into good spirits and send them off on their way to the spirit world. That is something which Korra very desperately needs to learn, and it's something that Tenzin cannot teach her. And so she decides to go and study with Unalaq, because he's the only one who can really teach her how to do these things. It's made fairly obvious towards about the mid-half of the season that Unalaq is planning to open both spirit portals so that he can free Batu, who is this evil dark spirit, and allow 10,000 years of darkness to fall into the world. Yay! Now the pace of the season really starts to pick up with Beginnings Part 1 and 2. This is where we are introduced to the first avatar named Wan. He is a very cool guy. We get to see essentially how the avatar came to be, and it's just a very cool process. The artwork is done differently in those 2 episodes, so that's really a cool, different feature. We get to see like an old, ancient Asian type of art style, and I thought that was really a neat feature for the show to do. And it introduces us to Batu and Rama. So there's that. The music in this season is great. I gotta say that for sure. Just listening to the different aspects of the show is very, very cool, where they put certain music and it helps to influence certain scenes and just does everything that an orchestral score is supposed to do. And so the music, whoever does it, I don't know who it is, but they do a very nice job with it. There's also a lot of comedy in this show, and they insert it in like the best times that they possibly could, either in terms of Tenzin's children or in terms of Bumi or just different characters, and it's just, it works really well because there's drama and there's dark humor, and then there's just the light humor, which kind of makes the show what it is and allows it to still kind of be a kid's show and not just the serious save the world or else everyone's going to die type of thing. The tone does get quite dark towards the end though, because it really does seem like Korra is going to lose and we are going to have 10,000 years of darkness. Unalaq does succeed in fusing with Batu, and we see him essentially morph into this huge creature. We see him destroy Rava, which disconnects Korra from any of her past avatars. This is just a huge thing because this is what Aang used, this is what Korra has used in terms of figuring out how to do certain things. She is able to connect with her different avatars and ask them advice, and now she cannot do that. She's completely cut off as far as we know at this point. Will that ability come back? I could see it maybe at the end of Season 3 or at the end of Season 4, maybe. It's just kind of cool to see that the Avatar is not this all-powerful being who is never going to be damaged in any sort of way, or at least very rarely. Aang got damaged physically, Korra has now been damaged spiritually. So it's kind of a neat parallel to see. And then there's just really big changes. Korra decides to keep the spirit portals open, and this is a huge thing, and because it's going to obviously influence Season 3 very much. We've already seen it influence Season 3 very much. I won't talk about it since some of you may not have watched Season 3 yet. There are changes. We have the spirits and humans intermingling, and just see the conflicts that erupt from that. As a whole, Season 2 is very, very good. I really enjoyed it. I really liked seeing General Iroh come back when Korra was in the spirit world. That was a really cool cameo. It made the fan base go crazy. I remember when I first saw it, my friends were just going crazy. I saw on Twitter people were going crazy, and it was just a really neat thing to see. We have Zuko coming back in the next season. That's really neat. And so it'd be kind of cool to see those two see each other again and just kind of see the connection that they have, because they were very close in the original series, and then just to see how far they've come since then would be a really cool thing to see. That is my review of Legend of Korra Book 2 Spirits. I really, really liked it. I thought that the premise was good. I thought that it had a fairly slow start, and then it picked up and got really, really exciting towards the second half of the last 7 episodes of the season. If you have not seen Legend of Korra, I highly recommend you do. Let me know what you thought of Book 2 Spirits down in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you absolutely hate it for some reason? Let me know. Also, do you like the new intro thing that's happening and the new format for these videos? Let me know if you do or not. It's something I'm trying out, seeing if it works. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.